Hello everybody. We're playing Viva Piñata Trouble in Paradise today. This is pretty much like a garden simulator with really cute stuff happening on screen every now and again. This is probably going to be fairly edited because this game just has a lot of downtime really. I just want to play Viva Piñata. That's pretty much the general idea of it. I just want to play Viva Piñata. It's made by Rare. They made games back then, 2008. Probably one of the better looking games on the Xbox 360, honestly. And it is the best. So we're gonna make some save data, because apparently I don't have any. Blah 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 blah. And we have a couple options available. We can do just for fun, where I think you just get a garden and nothing bad ever happens. You can't view the credit. I think you need to do some things. Online leaderboards, garden over system link. I don't have an Xbox Live Gold, so I can't choose this. But there is like a multiplayer thing, but I don't fully remember what it actually even does. It's been a while since I've played this. I'll probably end up doing the tutorial and stuff as well. But we're just gonna play a garden. We're gonna start a new garden. Gonna be great. We're not gonna call it that. We're gonna call it... this is always the hardest part of any video game. We're gonna call it the garden. Oh yes. Yes, it's going to be called the garden. I think that's really the only name that's appropriate for the situation. And we're just going to get started right now.
I just love fireworks. Oh, get away! This is my moment. What are you waiting for? Get inside and finish the job. Now that we're inside Piñata Central, we can use simple hacking techniques to steal the Piñata files. Soon, I will know the location and weaknesses of every Piñata on the island. Then I can capture every one of those papery critters until I am the Piñata King of the world. Hurry up, you incompetent code monkey. I have Piñata to capture.
Delete all files. Press any key to confirm.
Yeah, what just happened? You did what? No! Piñata Central is out of action until the records are restored. And in the meantime, I'll make sure those papery pinheads never reach the Caranata. Victory is mine!
Hi, I'm Leafos, and I'm going to help you get started. Look for this. It can show up anywhere, but it always tries to tell you where to go and what to do next.
So the intro really does make this a lot more exciting than it really is. That's okay though. We're in the tutorial mode right now. We got ourselves a garden. Bispotti is entering our garden throughout this little cutscene. Every time a new piñata enters your garden for the first time, you get a little cutscene showing them off. There you go.
This pretty little piñata has smelled the flowers in your garden and has come closer to investigate.
So with that particular one, you basically need to add these poppy flowers in your garden, then they go have a thing. There's a liquor toad here who's floating every now and then. He's just having a good time. We're going to the menu, because the game's telling us to. We're going to the village and we're going to Langston. Because he's a tutorial man. But yeah, in the tutorial, you basically, the sort of goal, I suppose, is to get all the records back of the piñatas and then send them at least once to like a party, which is why you're making all these piñatas enter your garden. Like they're just for children's parties and stuff. So we're just gonna accept the challenge. And we're gonna try to get the Bispotti in our garden. Because that's what we need to do right now. Now, as you can see, he's right there as the camera zooms in quite lovingly. And whoop, if we zoom over and we can check out our information about the guy. We need to have 3 poppies in our garden, and we only have 2. So what we're gonna do is we're either gonna press the menu button or we're just gonna I don't think it actually... Does it let us use the D-pad at this point in the game? I'm not actually 100% sure. Oh yeah, it does. Like, you can just... if you go... Oh, please stop talking to me again. If you press X, then you just get the menu. But if you just press the D-pad in that particular direction, like up in this case, then we get the shovel as well. And it's continuously pointing to this poppy flower because it wants us to hit the poppy flower. Also, there's another piñata coming our way called the World, who pretty much appears forever, all the time, forever, because they're just like the most common one. But they also exist. But he's currently not very exciting.
Done. You attracted a worm.
Oh, I guess because we have a lot of sand. You'll get to hear a little piece of dialogue. I'll probably skip a bunch of them because a lot of them are not that exciting and make a lot of sense. When we tap the flower, a petal comes off, and we get a couple of seeds over here, which we can plant once again to get a couple more poppy flowers, which is obviously what we want to get to Bispotti, which we need to complete the tutorial mission. Now, after that, you have to water your plants, because otherwise you can't grow your plants if you don't water them. With these...
You have a
Thanks,
new
game.
Bispotti visitor. It's come into the garden because you have some...
I mean, you're just saying
lovely
exactly what
pots.
I was saying, so just stop. But, yeah, the general idea is you have to water your plants, and then they grow slowly but surely. You don't want to overwater them, otherwise they don't grow so good. If you put, like, way too much water in them, they actually, like, grow slower, I think. And we just gotta make these things grow. The moment there are 3 of these poppies in our garden, then this dude will stop running in circles and eventually join our happy garden parade. Now this is the part what I mean where the game has a fair amount of downtime because we're basically just waiting for these flowers to grow. You do see a little bit of progress if you zoom in like this. Oh, and there's also a serpent coming our way. Little snake dude. Trying to see what's going on in our garden. And at least like with stuff like this, it does at least give you an idea of why it happened, but a lot of them just sort of make sense, really.
You are doing very
We have grass, so snakes are appearing. But yeah, if you zoom all the way in, you can see like the plant very slowly grow. I'll probably fast forward this maybe. And by the time it's fully grown, we can get the Bispotti, which we need for the tutorial. And with these particular poppies, I don't think you even really need to water them just because they're like the most basic of flowers, so they'll just grow on their own eventually. But it's generally a good idea to have to give them some water, so you're just used to the process. Eventually you also get stuff like fertilizer as well, which will make it grow almost instantaneously, really, comparatively. But for now, we're just we're stuck with what we got, and that's good enough for us. Eventually these poppies are gonna grow. But I believe the fertilizer actually makes them like bigger as well. Like the poppies we're growing will have like 1 petal, whereas the one to the left over there has 3 or something like that. So there is some point to fertilizer. There's a big shadow currently going over this, but that's just the thing that flies over every now and again. There we go. Now we're just waiting for the Bispotti to reside, as the thing says. Poppies are growing. What does the Bispotti think about this? You can sort of spin around him for a while. Yep. There we go. That's a happy looking Bispotti. In the moment it's a resident, it turns all colorful and things. It's no longer just gray. And that's good. So if you mouse over this thing, then you see it has like a bar that you can make go up or down. And one of the ways to make it go up or down is to give it a name. So we're going to give it a name. Because if the bar is not entirely full, I don't think you can like give it to the tutorial man. But we're currently, I guess because we haven't clicked on the thing yet and we're doing a tutorial. Blee blee blee, we got a Bispotti, awesome. We aren't allowed to rename it yet, but if we press on this hint by going down with the D-pad and looking at it.
You need to fill the
Blee blee blee. If you do this, then renaming it is a really good idea and everything's perfect. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go over the thing, which is a little bit overly sensitive sometimes. And now there's a rename button available. And we're gonna call this Bispotti, Bilford. We're gonna call this one Bilford. That's a good name for it. Bilford the Bispotti. Rolls off the tongue, really, doesn't it? It really does. I'm glad you all agree with me. And now look, now his entire bar is full. He has like an icon over his head. And he's looking really happy and roaring to go. So we can click on pack and then select the piñata, who will go into the thing, who will then naturally fly upwards and disappear, and then get shot out of a cannon. Because this is actually how piñatas are sent to their customers and parties and whatnot. They just get shot out of a cannon. It's quite majestic, really.
Congratulations! You've completed the first challenge by successfully attracting a Bispotti into your garden, filling it up with candy, and sending it off to a party. That wasn't too hard, was it? Now, let's try something a bit more tricky.
You're gonna try something more tricky now. By going back to the menu and going back to the village and going to Langston and see what's up. Bring them back alive. And they want a beach party, so they want a sandy piñata. And this is actually the second game of the series, believe it or not. The first game was just called Viva Piñata, this one's called Viva Piñata Trouble in Paradise. And this game's pretty much identical to the first game, just with more stuff. If you are interested in this game, definitely get this one because it's just better, really. It's just the same but with more stuff. There's a couple things which are slightly different, which is kind of a shame here and there, but overall I think this is just a better game, really. We're going to the desert. There we go. And over here we got a bunch of sandy piñatas that appear nowhere else, like the Sweeto. And he looks adorable. He's a beetle sweetie. Sweetie beetle. Sweeto. There you go. That's pretty much all the names.
This piñata can only
Every name is just a pun, really. And over here it's largely sand mammal based puns, like Geki. Geckos are definitely mammals, believe it or not. That's actually totally the truth. There you go.
Here is a piñata.
And that's also a piñata you can only find in the sand. And yeah, the first time you get this cutscene, like every time you see a new piñata, after you've seen it once, it doesn't like show cutscenes anymore. But we're just gonna talk to Langston, see what he thinks about it, because apparently the game wants us to really badly right now.
Hello again. Selling traps is my sideline, and to help you along, you can have a freebie.
We can have a freebie.
I'd recommend that. It's
Blah, 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 blah. So we got a trap now, which we need to get these piñatas to our homeland. We're just gonna put this down and finish. Now we got a trap, but we need to put some bait on it. I'm actually kind of curious how to get this one because this one's cute. We need a delicate snowdrop flower, and I think this one needs a yam if I remember correctly. Yam! Yeah, Sweeto finds it hard to resist a yam. But we're just gonna go to the bait bag. I think we probably only have yams available. Yep, just yams. Yams all day, every day. And we're gonna buy it, we're gonna plant it. And we are going to go back here. And now we just simply have to wait for the wonderful Sweetle to go and eat a yam. He finds it hard to resist after all, but it is very tempting. Yum, 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 yum. And after he eats the yam, trap activates, becomes a giant crate, and we're gonna post it. Boop. We can also break the trap, but then it just like lets him go. But we want it in our garden because that's what they want. And also this makes all the various piñatas, which are also over here, just fly off because they don't want to get trapped either.
It's not enough.
And he's just talking about bait, so that's not too exciting. Let's return to the garden. There we go. Here we are. So now I have to remember. Okay, there we go. This is this name confuses me every time because
Yoo-hoo! Piñata Island's magnificent postal services are at your disposal for all your needs. You know, passing stuff on, getting some goodies off other Xbox Live gardeners.
But then again, I guess it doesn't confuse me too much. Because it's also worth mentioning, I don't actually know exactly where this game was made, but the music was made by Grant Kirkhope, who also did a lot of music for, I believe it was Donkey Kong 64 and Banjo-Kazooie and stuff like that. And it's noticeable in some places. In some places it does definitely sound a lot like Grant Kirkhope music. But overall the soundtrack is really solid as well.
Well done! You attracted a moth drop. When the sun goes down, the moth drop will look for a suitable garden.
Yeah, moth appears in the dark, and also a Pretstill, which appears because we have Bispottis, maybe? I'm not actually 100% sure, honestly. This game is great.
A Pretstill has appeared.
They like to investigate garden in the dark. A garden in the dark. But we are not going to focus on this right now. We're currently focusing on the post office. Because I believe...
Howdy, Sweet Pea. Welcome to the post office. I heard there was a new face in town. We can help you with crate sales, crate deliveries, messages, invites. You just holler when you've made up your mind.
I think you can actually, like, send crates between players as well if you were playing a multiplayer and, like, give piñatas to other people that way. Maybe that's how the multiplayer worked in this game. I'm not 100% sure, though. But we can place the crate down here, have it be here forever. We can open it wherever we want. Boop. Yes. Oh, we have to move it. There we go. Confirm. Crate gets destroyed.
You have a new sweet little visitor. Congratulations.
Blah, blah, blah. And now we're gonna figure out how do we make this one stay. So we need 1 square penometer of sand. I don't know what a penometer is, but that's okay. So we're gonna go to the menu. I'm gonna go to the grass packet, I think. Oh.
I see you've got a sand critter.
Ew.
Might be just the right time to give you this sand packet. It works just like the grass packets, and you can find it in the same place on the menu, so it should be no problem for you to use.
So now we have a sand packet, and we can, I guess, choose it here? Yeah. We can put some sand down to make the sweet feel at home. So we're just gonna make a bunch of sand over here, just a nice little sandy area. Just, you can have this like corner over here. We're just gonna make it all nice looking, I suppose. Gonna make it look, sort of like a, I don't know what we're making it look like, but it's a large square of sand. That's basically what we're going. We have made a sand. Excellent. Fits right in with the other squares in this lovely square garden. And now he's feeling all happy about it. Look at how happy this little guy is. And probably we can just rename this one as well. And we once again, oh yeah, we actually have to go down here before the rename button appears. So we have to rename this one to make him have maximum candiosity. So we're just gonna call him Yamble. Yamble. That's a good name for someone who gets trapped by yams. Taunt him with the yams in his name. Although that didn't actually do that much. So we probably need to do a little bit more. Maybe we need to feed him a little bit or something like that. We can select him, which I'm not really sure. Oh, we get to have him eat the poppy, I suppose. Some piñatas will get happier or sadder if they eat things. Sometimes they get stuck in other piñatas as well, which is a little bit silly, but it is a very confusing life they lead. And he's almost there. He's getting there. He needs a little bit more, but another poppy will probably do the trick, and then ready to get sent off to the best party ever made. It contains a piñata, so the party cannot possibly become better.
Well done!
Bleep bloop, he ate a thing. Well done, you did exactly what the thing told you to do. You are great. You are fantastic. Back. And there we go. Another piñata has been sent to a small child. And it plays the same cutscene again. Because video games. This is a fairly common cutscene, I believe. But it's pretty important to the story.
Excellent! You've completed the second challenge by trapping a wild piñata, making it a resident, and filling it up with candy to enjoy its papery party. You really seem to be getting the hang of this now. There's one more challenge, and then you can manage without my help.
So we're nearly done with the tutorial of the game, and then we've pretty much covered all the gameplay things.
You've leveled up. You filled the petals around the clock, which means you've taken a step closer to becoming a truly great gardener. All kinds of things happen when you become a better gardener. Costalot store has opened. You can buy some paving, some fences, a couple of items to decorate your garden with, and some seeds. Seedos will have some new seeds in his pouch too.
So there's just all that she said. It's all true. And you level up by basically just growing piñatas, making them join your garden, and growing flowers and growing them to max capacity and whatnot. Just basically doing stuff and you level up. We're going back to what's his face, Langston. And there's going to be a baby shower and they want to have a baby piñata to celebrate any kind. We'll do Can You Romance 2 piñatas, look for the blah blah blah. So we're going to make 2 piñatas like each other very much. And then we'll have a baby piñata. So we're going to use the Bispottis for this. Also a crustacean is coming our way because we probably have enough sand. I do really love the animation in this game. The animation and the sound is just too good.
With a little sand and a little sunshine, the beach party animals appear. This little crustacean is interested in your garden.
It is very little sunshine indeed. It's like no sun at all. But sure, we're going to find Bispotti. And we're going to do that with the RB and LB buttons because it's the easiest way of doing it. We only have one of them though, so we need to make sure that we get another one first before we can continue this process. This might take a while. It also said that Castellot store had opened, but I think you actually need to have beaten the tutorial before that happens, which is why it's not open yet, and we can't really do a whole lot. So that's kind of dumb. So how about instead we just wait for this dude to get into range of our little garden. We also have a new worm village visitor, which may join our garden any minute, really. So, might as well check out what the worm wants, because it's a new one that we don't have yet. What do you like? Have soil. Okay. So this one might turn into a new resident of our garden soon enough. He has all the necessary requirements. So in a second he might just look a little bit happier. Make some squeaky noises. Look at that! He's doing the worm. As you'd expect from a worm. I'm actually quite uncertain. Like, some of these puns, they make sense in terms of, like, references to food. But with some of them, I just have genuinely no idea what exactly they're trying to reference. Like, whirlum. That's probably a reference to some type of candy, but I don't know which one. Oh, apparently we have two. Ah, cool. The other piñata came back, the one we sent to the party. He's all happy and things.
You have improved again. Well done. Lottie has some new items.
I mean, we don't see those things anymore, but eventually our garden will increase in size because we did things. Also, the spearmint appeared because we have a worm in our garden, and birds like worms. And that's why this one appeared and doing a little dance right now. So that's cool.
Congratulations! You've attracted a sparrowmint.
Yeah. You do really get quite tired of all those pop-ups after a while, I'll be honest. But overall, it's just, you know, it's just about the piñatas. There we go. So we should probably actually look what the piñatas want before they can love each other very much. We need to have eaten the daisy and have a Bispotti house in the garden. So to build a Bispotti house, we need things. Oh, and here we go. We're actually getting the things that, like the extra villages and whatnot. Like Cedos, who is an odd one. A very odd one. His mask speaks for him.
Let me introduce Cedos. He's obsessed with gathering seeds. You should try talking to him. But yeah, Cedos, normally you can just buy seeds and you'll just get like a specific type of seed, but Cedos can like give you random seeds as well. And you might get something that you're not able to buy yet, which is kind of neat. But that was not what I was going to do. Wait for Cedos. Oh, I actually have to wait for... Do I have to wait for Cedos to enter my garden? Well, that's a bit silly. I don't even know where he is. He could be anywhere. I don't actually even know how to get these snakes in your garden. Oh, I need a mouse mallow. I haven't even seen a mouse mallow yet, but we'll get there one day. Also, like the thing said earlier, oh, you need a lot of sand and water for this one, and a surfboard in the garden. Eventually your garden will actually grow in size as well, so you can do a lot more with it. Right now we're just really early on, so there's just not much we can do. But eventually we'll get more things, and it'll be totally cool, and everything's going to be totally the bee's knees. Let's see if we can talk to Cedos. Anytime we should be able to like select him, then we can talk to him. But I quite enjoy looking at his waddle, to be honest. He has a good walking cycle. And we got to look at the snake as well, the serpent. And he's going into my gate, which I don't really want. Can you like not? Okay, this is where he decided to go. Let's talk to him.
Hello, I'm Cedos. Take a seed. And don't hit me with your spade.
Well, that seems like a pretty reasonable argument. I believe if you actually do hit him with a spade, he launches like negative, like he spawns like weeds and stuff in your garden, and that's not what you want. You don't want weeds in your garden. They can do some pretty nasty things, really, and it makes me very, very angry. So obviously we don't want that. Gonna water these daisies. This one, that one right there with the pixel shadows, and just gonna water it. Gonna water them both real good, like. Sometimes it's actually like beneficial to water like piñatas as well, like they get happy from it. Like that toad gets happy when you pour water over. Look at how happy he is. He's dancing. He's having a good day. Look at that guy. Awesome. So yeah, we're not gonna hit him with a spade as like much as I really want to because he's quite unusual, but that's okay. Now we're just gonna wait for the days to grow, and while we're waiting, we can watch a starfly potentially visit our garden one of these days. They do look a lot better when they become a resident to your garden. They're no longer black and white, but little introductory videos are nice.
Here is a taffly. It likes fruit. Any kind will do.
So we don't have fruit yet, but we have daisies, and maybe we can confuse him, but somehow I feel like that's not going to be a thing that happens. There's also some other things just surrounding this garden as well, but they'll become relevant as time goes on. Like we still get to go into the ice area at some point. We can maybe look at that taffly, but we need some fruit, as the lady just said. So we're just gonna wait for these 2 daisies to grow. Which shouldn't take too long. Daisies are among the more basic of flowers. I think you can probably actually buy just daisies as well with like the seed pack. Yeah, I don't think we have seeds available yet. I don't think we have seeds available yet outside of like talking to Cedos, who will just drop some randomly. But eventually you'll be able to buy seeds and everything's going to be great. But for now we're just going to enjoy the general movement of our friends. Just watch these guys just sort of wander around, have some fun, sort of worm around. And these two are looking at each other quite happily, like, I don't know why we... Oh, right, we have to eat the thing. So they're just having a good time dancing around. And we're gonna make these two Bispottis eat a daisy, one each. They both need to, like, fulfill the romance requirements that are visible here. Like, they both have to eat a daisy, and we need a Bispotti house in the garden, which will happen eventually. But for now, we have to wait for them to actually, like, be interested enough to, like, do these things. Like, come on. You know you want to. You know you want to eat these things. It might be that I really specifically have to eat this one with that one, which is maybe possible. And there's a white flutterscotch coming our way. I don't remember what attracts that one, I'll be honest. There's a lot which I don't remember, but it's going here. It's having a good time. It's flying. Landing on a thing.
Congratulations!
Oh.
You have attracted a white flutterscotch. Sometimes they are attracted by the noises of other animals, and sometimes the scent of flowers brings them.
Well, there you go. Scent of flowers. Awesome. Will you, like, please, just eat one of these daisies? It might be that they're just not fully grown yet. No, they are, because otherwise the little, like, water icon would be there. But I guess this is also, like, a thing that happened a lot in the first Viva Piñata. They definitely fixed it in this game a lot more, but getting flying creatures to do your bidding is an impossibility in this game. So we just sort of have to wait for them to, like, decide on their own that this is actually what they want to do. It might even just be because it's too dark and they just feel like flying around right now, but eventually they should get to the point where they're like, oh yeah, I can eat this thing, cool. Oh, he's considering it. Or not. No, he gave up. Okay. He's considering it. Is he considering it? Maybe not. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe. Please. Please. Just do it. Just believe in yourself. I'm trying to select that specific one as well, and it's being a rebel in terms of what I want it to do and what it's actually doing. But it's flying in this direction now. Maybe it's just confused by this fence or something. Maybe it's confused by something along the line. Oh no. No, he isn't. This creature does not. Oh! He's throwing fire extinguishers or horns, I'm not overly sure. But yeah, that's basically their attack. Every piñata has a different type of attack. Sometimes piñatas will start fighting each other. This one needed fire extinguishers, apparently. That's one. I think it was this one. I probably should have looked. Has eaten one daisy, indeed. So let's get Bilford over here. Get him to eat the second one. We're going to replant the seeds that they drop as well, because these will eventually just wither away. Because it doesn't have any more flowers anymore. But eventually you'll be able to grow ones that have like more petals and it'll look cool and whatnot. But now we're just going to plant a couple of them over here. We really don't need to water these because they grow so fast that they don't get to the point where they run out of water, really. Okay. So we can select this one with the cursor. Please eat these flowers. Just come on. That's all I need you to do, Bilford. Did I do that with the right one? Yeah. Okay. They're not the smartest in the bunch, but they'll get there eventually. You just need to like point them in the right direction for a few minutes. Hey, it's Willy. Really, all these names. Not thinking about it now is like...
Willy Builder here to tell you my shop is now open. Return to the game, press A, and then press X to open the menu. Select the village option. You can open my store by selecting the icon that looks like my head.
That looks like my head. Now we're going to select the icon that looks like his head, Willy Builder, and we're going to his store.
Willy here, Master Builder. If you have piñatas that need somewhere to call home, I can make it. In fact, I can build just about any building if you've got the cash.
Yeah, Willy the Master Builder is going to build a house for us. This one's free because it's the tutorial one.
As soon as you've decided
blah, 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 blah. Okay. And we're going to place down a wonderful house. It's kind of big. It's taking up most of our garden, really. I think it has like a indication of where the front door is as well, if I remember correctly, but I don't know where it is. It might actually not have that. I might be like just making things up right now. We're going to place it down here. Seems like a good place. And we're going to click on the finish shopping button because we only need one of those. Now we just have to wait for Willy the Builder to come over and be like, yo, I'm gonna build this thing so good you have no idea. But eventually these buildings will cost money. You'll get money from like selling piñatas, and I think you can get money other ways as well. Like mostly like growing things and just selling them afterwards is a pretty good way of making money if I remember correctly. But for now we're just gonna wait. Oh. Here's Willy, the Master Builder, coming our way forward, entering our garden, and he's going with this big old hammerhead to the big old box where he's going to build. Big old building box. Another thing with his head on it. There's a lot of structures that have his head on it, really. It's very unusual, but it does make it more recognizable as who's working on it, I suppose, so there's not. And then there's a little timer on the side which tells you how long it's going to take for the building. And it just shakes the entire time as well. It doesn't... Like, I'm guessing other buildings actually take a bit longer to make, but this one's like the first building, so it takes 20 seconds. But eventually you'll just do this in the background, just do other stuff at the same time, and just wait for this to finish on its own. There you go. Willy's going out of the building. Stepping out. He's done. He's ready. Gonna put a sticker on it, a little medallion, whatever. Now we just have to hit it with a shovel? Is that what we do at this point? I want to say that this seems like the kind of thing that I would do at this point. Yeah. Shovel. And we'll reveal. And a wonderful building for two has been created. And the people that you can now, like, romance with one another have hearts above them. Also, there's a bird killing one of my worms, which is kind of sad, but simultaneously... I mean, candy will appear, and this is probably all I need to get this Spearmint to join my garden. Yeah. He's gonna eat these, like, pieces of candy, and then he's gonna be like, yo, this is one awesome garden. I'm gonna stay here forever. And everyone will be incredibly pleased with themselves. Look at how happy this guy is, just spinning around, looking like a bird. That's what birds often do, they look like birds. Yeah. And eventually it'll change color into something a bit more colorly. Okay, let's get you... Yes, thanks. And we'll get them to go to that one. That Bispotti will stop moving while the other one gracefully flies to this lovely direction. There's a new Flutterscotch visitor, but I will ignore that. Because when you do this, they do their little thing together. They're sort of wiggling around. Which is getting slightly ruined by the fact that there's continuously piñatas between the two. But that's okay. And now you get sent to a little minigame, where I think it's also like a really bad way of getting money, but you get money for it if you do it right.
Welcome to the romancing minigame. You need to take control of your piñata and try to reach your partner without hitting any loathers. The loathers are creatures created by Professor Pester, and they hate the piñatas being happy. Push the left stick in any direction to make your piñata move, and remember...
Yeah, basically just don't hit things.
As the old saying goes, you can't hurry love, and that's especially true on Piñata Island these days. You'll notice that the object of your affections will be none too pleased if you make your approach before proving your feelings. To do this, you need to collect the required number.
Collect hearts. Don't touch the bombs. Also, there's a timer. But yeah, we just need to get there as quickly as possible. The controls of this are sort of weird, but they get the job done. But it is pretty easy to actually run into these bombs sometimes. And we got them all, so we can go talk to our little friend over here. We did it! And because we got so many hearts, we get a coin bonus of 4. We got 4 extra coins to add to our 970. So yeah, it's not a very good way of making money, but it works.
Now you've completed the game, your happy piñatas will go into their house and do a romance dance.
A romance dance. And that is exactly what they're going to do. In this little house, their particular house over here, they're going to just probably shrink as well. That's one thing they often do. They're just going to go inside. And then... God, that Sweetle's making some weird noises, but that's fine. Get in there, you two. Have some good times. This is how babies are made, by the way. This is an accurate representation of babies. Babies. So there you go. They're just having a good time. And after doing so, Storkos will appear because that's, again, babies.
Hey.
Storkos in her egg shed is going to be there
Your piñatas have made an egg.
to make an egg.
After piñatas have done the romance dance, a new baby piñata is brought to the garden, safely packed in a patterned egg.
Yeah. So now we just have to wait for her to appear. I'm going to see what this...
Level
Okay.
4 already? You really seem to have taken a shine to this gardening lark. Check Lottie's
Bleep bloop
store
bleep bloop. Basically more stuff has opened up. We need to have 4 daisies in the garden to make this person part of our garden crew. So that'll happen eventually. Probably not this time. This one might just leave eventually, but... Eventually, this should spawn a baby.
Worry no more, your new egg has been delivered safely. Another successful mission for Storkos, the people's champion.
The people's champion. And this egg will eventually hatch. You can't break the egg as well, but that's just wrong. It's just wrong. You can't do that. But we'll just let this happen slowly but surely. We can like kind of look at the egg as well. We don't really get to look at an egg very often, especially not that's one that's pink and has like Bispottis all over it, sort of. At least sort of the pattern for a Bispotti. I really like the texture of these games as well, because they're just actual piñata-y piñatas and they look really cool. But this one's all menacing, like... That's because this is a sour one.
Here comes trouble. A sour shelly bean has found your garden. They only want one thing, a seed feast.
So nothing really sounds quite as menacing as sour shelly bean. And that's currently coming from somewhere towards our garden. And the sour ones are minions of Professor Pester or whatever it is. And you gotta make sure that they're no longer sour. And once you've like unsoured one, which just has like the same sort of requirements as just getting a piñata in your garden and stuff like that, you get like this thing which will stop you from getting any more sour piñatas. But sometimes you need to get a second one of these to get like to get them to romance with one another. Because I think you get like extra experience if you end up with like 7 of the same type in your garden. Yeah. Hey.
Every time a new piñata is hatched in your garden, your label is fixed to it.
Yeah, that's pretty much just for multiplayer purposes. But yeah, we got ourselves a baby piñata, and he's incredibly already filled with all the candy required. It will eventually grow into a bigger one, but we need to send the baby. So, we will send the baby, put him in the box, put him in the crate. Crate's gonna bounce once more, and get sent out of the piñata cannon, which seems kind of mean for a baby that just hatched, but you know, piñatas. That's how they live. That's their life.